think I will be able to see it. I'm not too sure. I woke up in the morning, stood up on my square, faced the east and then said my prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night and day and through his holy prophet, True Ali. Amen. Amen. We should say amen. Amen. Everybody say amen. Amen. Islam, Muslim. Let me remove this thing from Islam. Happy Wellness Wednesday.
That's right. Happy Authority Day.
Happy Authority Day. Islam. So we want to apologize for our tardiness. We just gonna kick this show off, this healthy dialogue, and by very opening up for us, if you don't mind.
Well, first I want to rise and give praise to the incomprehensible, to whom we refer to at times as being the great God Allah.
Islam.
I give honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. High honors to the Prophet for setting aside Authority Day on this day, right here in this moment. Prophet Noble Drew Ali set aside Authority Day. I give high honors to all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc. I give honors to all past leadership. I give honors to all grand governors and their assistants. I give honors to all seekers after truth, wayfarers. I give honors to two flags, the American flag and the Moorish flag, and I give honors to our charter on this day. You know, that gives us the right to practice and promote Islamism in America without molestation.
That's right.
You know, so praise Allah for Prophet Noble Drew Ali setting aside Authority Day. You know, and happy Wellness Wednesday. And like my wife said, we apologize for the tardiness. We just got in from Philadelphia celebrating Authority Day.
Yes.
And we know you all celebrated Authority Day, I believe, last week.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yes, you did. So we're gonna take a read from the Quran.
We'll take a read from the Holy Quran of the Most High Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God Allah.
Islam.
I'm gonna take a read from page 43.
Okay.
Chapter 35. Instruction. I'm gonna read instruction 22. Praise his goodness with songs of thanksgiving, and meditate in silence on the wonders of his love. Let thy heart overflow with gratitude and acknowledgement. Let the language of thy lips speak praise and adoration. Let the actions of thy life show thy love to his law.
Islam. Praise Allah. To welcome our co-host, Brother G and Sister B Born Ill. And today's dialogue is going to be about divine expression. And if you will introduce yourself, then we can just, go into our discussion. Introduce yourself, please, our co-host.
Islam. Praise Allah, honors to the Holy Prophet. We give honors to all those who honors are due. I'm Brother G. Bond, your brother man, truly indeed, number 43, Clinton Charter Township, Michigan. We do music, and for this show to be about divine expressiveness, it's a good show topic for us to, show how that works through us in our life and how that's a benefit. So we appreciate the platform being here. We look forward to the dialogue and get some information out to the nation.
Praise Allah. Thank you very much, sister.
It's fine. I'm Sister B. Barnell. We do music, and I'm honored to be here in your presence to discuss divine expression, expressiveness, rather, and how it equates to music, and just the divine instruction was perfect, and just how that works with Allah, love. So we're honored to be here, and we're excited. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. On my way here, Brother Berry Bay, I went into chapter 26 because I thought about the last instruction. For some reason it came to me. So I'm going to read where it says, nevertheless, the attainment of virtues. No, I'm sorry. It was, but the wise man cultivates his mind with knowledge. The improvement of the arts is his delight, and their utility to the public crown it with honor. So when we express ourselves in a divine way, that's the utility to the public. So today we will unfold and we will express our divineness. What is our purpose? How do we function here on this plane of manifest? How do we confer and reciprocate to our sisters and brothers, giving them something to be inspired? Like you have a music ministry. If you want to share a little bit of
first, let me give honors to them.
Oh yeah, sure.
I want to give honors to Brother and Sister Von Ill, for your musical expressiveness.
Yes.
That's why we decided to do to create some dialogue with you both, about your divine expressiveness, because when we express ourselves musically in a conscious way, the way you all do, that's divine. That's a divine expression. That's where we got the concept of divine expressiveness, if you will. When we listen to your music, we hear your music, and the consciousness and your subject matter is always, divine. You're always expressing yourself in a divine way, and we want to give honor to you for that, and that's why we chose this particular topic.
Yes,
with you all.
Indeed. So if you you have a song that you I listened to the other day about Authority Day.
Yeah, we did do a song.
Yes, and since it's Authority Day, we want to start off with sharing, that new sound you got going on that you dedicated to this beautiful day. If you were able to share it on your end, we had some difficulties, technical difficulties because of the tardiness. Let me see if I can pull it. I may can pull it myself. If you can, Sister Barnell, are you able to?
I don't think so on the device I'm on.
Huh?
I don't think I am from this device. I wasn't prepared to.
Okay. All right. No worries. So let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, but it was a song inspired to speak about the authority that we have been given, from Allah, and who his prophet is to us with that authority in him, and how it translates to us right now. So it's been a lot of work. The prophet did a lot of work for us. It's been a lot of time. It's been a long time coming for us to get to this day, and we need our people to understand that, who we are, and all power in heaven and earth has been given to us. We can have that power, and that's what this is about. As above, so below. The music from the heavens, the music from the heavens should be pouring through our soul.
That's right.
That's right. So, Brother Baby, just can you just take it while?
Yes. I concur with my brother. Me and my brother had a brief discussion yesterday, I believe that was, and we was my brother went up on an incline on me. Talking about that music and that vibration, because we are all musical instruments, if you will.
Right.
The way Allah formed us, just the fact that our we have a larynx. Our larynx is an instrument.
Right.
Our ears have drums, and our heart beat. So we are divine musical expressions of Allah. In the Quran, when it talks about the bird sings a song, and man, I'm paraphrasing, I'm chopping it up.
Man, vibrating unison to help it sing.
Right, unison to help it sing. That's a powerful demonstration, and how the instructions instruct us to look to the creatures for guidance. Let me say, go to the stalk. Go to the wilderness, young man, and observe the stalk.
That's right.
I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
Go watch. The creatures, and they can guide you.
They can.
They can guide you when you watch. It talks about the spider weaving her web and the bee with the honey. You know what I learned about music and sound.
As a matter of fact, let's go back. How long have you been doing music, and what inspired you to share this divine expressiveness?
Well, I've been doing music a long time. When I was little, growing up, young man, we had people in my neighborhood that did music. We had, they had local artists. They had national artists that would come to my neighborhood and perform, like big time rappers, Tupac and them kind of guys. And it was something about the energy of the music that I always loved. It. I wanted to dance. I didn't know that that's a natural ability as far as praising and worshiping. I didn't know that was what was my gift. It was in there, but it's like I brought it out through the other kind of music. And at some point in time, I thought that's what I wanted to say and do. And I had that motivation to be a big time, nationally known artist, like the people that I knew.
That's right.
I know that when you think of the big time artists, you're looking at all the money and stuff, the same stuff that no longer do I see it that way. I see God the richest person nowadays. And I understand that the way Allah works, like even today, for me to even get my music across the nation, because at this point, Allah has made it clear that I am nationally known, that people do know me around the nation. And
that's right.
That's right.
I heard a 2-year-old child singing my song. It put tears in my eyes to know that Allah was let me know that it has affected a 2-year-old that know the noble son, a song that we did, I'm the prophet. So for me to see that, I always had it in it, but we all got it in us. We might not want to bring that gift out, but we all got it in us. Life is nothing but a beat. It's nothing but a rhythm. It's nothing but vibration. Music, life is music. It's all sounds. He tell you how to identify it. So I always had it in me. I just, had to develop myself as I become conscious. I understand what my language is for, to improve our society. He told us what to do with that. So
That's right. Improve the society. That's what the prophet let us know. Come on, Sister Varnell. I know you had something for me.
Hey, it's live. So I've been doing music for since I was a young child, about 5 years old. So in total, about 23 years. I just always had a love for singing, because I've always done, I've been into gospel music my entire life. And then I just decided to step out into my creative abilities and write poetry. I started with writing simple poems, letting Allah know how I felt, or I would just express it. I knew that it would be better for me to get it on paper. And then when I met my husband, I was able to get it organized, because he had already been professionally recording music. And so I was just started believing in myself. And what inspired me was the fact that the music that I was entertaining and that was available for me to listen to wasn't necessarily feeding me spiritually. And then it was to the point where I started doing events for families, birthday parties, etc. And there was no clean music available to play. And so, or you would have to, recommend the clean version. And the clean version may have something, where the vibrations and the rhythms are off. So That's what really inspired me to say, okay, well, I can do this. And at first, I didn't believe that I could do it. I was just like, you know what, this is a tough task. I already, I have a look about myself that's different, and it's not always, just peaches and cream just because the music sounds good. We
Right.
go out, we step in front of the crowd. So I thought about these things before we stepped into doing music, and it was difficult, but I wanted to be that change. I wanted to improve society with my language. I had already participated long enough in the destruction of the world. So I feel that it is old. My services are old, therefore, so
That's right.
that's
That's
why I
right.
do what I do.
I actually have the song ready to be shared. This is
Okay.
called, the title of the song is Our Authority.
Happy Authority Day, Morris.
Happy
That's
Happy
right.
authority day. That's
Here we
right.
go.
July. There you go.
You can hear it?
Yeah.
In authority, in our authority, Allah is the only name. In our authority, Ali is His holy prophet. In our authority, Allah is the only name. In our authority, Ali is His holy prophet. Bow to the Holy Father, honor His holy prophet. Free in my soul, I'm conscious, follow my holy doctrine. I live in peace and goodwill, son of the noble promise. Up on my mama Zion, so full of holy gospel. Knew the last days were coming. His prophet's kid was born with the corona growing. Entire world is seeking Allah. I see them sowing. Who seeking to and growing? Without a father, soldier never know what was his strength. Thought is the thinking, man. You think you say yourself. Thought is the cause of it all. Thought is the Elohim.
That's right.
Thought is the sorcery song. Thought is my melanin. Thought made my skeleton and thought produce intelligence. Thought my inheritance. Proud Moorish American. Bloodline of the Northern Kingdom. Just so late and just ain't winning. Born in the land of freedom, three-fifths don't apply to nationality and divine creed. It's my authority and our authority. Allah is the only name and our authority. Ali is His holy prophet and our authority. Allah is the only name and our authority. Ali is His holy prophet. Honor my holy charter. We charter through the waters. Divine politic body. Uplift His sons and daughters. May the blessing of the God of our Father Allah be upon us at all times. Allah, you are God. Northwest of Mexico, I'm born. God bless America. Title of my master state, divine inheritance. Treaty of peace and friendship. Peace to the Lord self. Truth hold the keys to the kingdom. Wisdom is holy ground. Allah the magistrate. Prepare to meet your king. Peace of society depends on justice. Let freedom reign. We must obey the prophets. We in the book of life. His story already told. These days were prophesied. Yes, the great meeting zone. The Muslims advocate.
That's right.
Here to rebuild a nation and love us. Our only savior. Our mission consecrated. Service are dedicated. Religious corporation. Islamism propagated. In our authority. Allah is the authority. In our authority. Ali is His holy prophet. In our authority. Allah is the authority. In our authority. Ali is His holy prophet. In our authority. Allah is the authority. In our authority. Ali is His holy prophet. In our authority. Allah is the authority. In our authority. Ali is His holy prophet.
That's right. Come on, sis. Come on. Let me hear you, sis. And our
Authority and authority, authority.
yes. Woo! That's fine.
That's my first time.
That
Honest. All praise to Allah. Just the information. Anytime the information come out, I can never take credit. Anything that I get honest for, all praise to Allah. I can't take credit, and that's what an expression is. You
That's
can't
right.
say it. You know you're a medium. You know you're a means. We all are instruments. We are
That's
creatures.
right.
right.
So He get to use you. Our instrument is a tool. Be
Right.
blessed.
That's right.
Right. That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
That was
Wow.
I like that. You
Islam.
said our mission is consecrated.
Mm-hmm,
You know, that was powerful. I like that. I like that.
Wow.
And you I heard you mention inspiration. The word music, comes from the Greek word muse, which means to inspire.
Inspire.
So that's why I'm a fan of many different types of music,
Right.
I don't really like to put music in a category because I believe music is universal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I listen to gospel music
Right.
because I know that
Right.
gospel just means good news,
Mm-hmm.
goodwill to men, peace on earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I listen to all types of music, hip hop, R&B, long as it's inspiring.
Right.
Anything
Wow.
that's inspiring
Right.
is worth listening to.
That's right.
Period.
That's right.
To me, it doesn't matter what because you can't circumscribe who Allah is working through.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
See, when you start measuring genres of music, I don't listen to this. You circumscribing Allah.
You know, our voice is our personal vehicle to spiritual and creative expression. Our voice. You know, so what you just was saying, you listen to certain things because you vibrated. Your spirit vibrates with certain sound and words. See, the prophet let us know every thought, word, and deed. And he spoke about every word I speak is spirit. So these words of spirit, when they uplift and they motivate, transformation happens.
Absolutely.
Even on a small scale. We may not, if you're aware, then you learn to have control over these powers.
Right.
You know, that sound
Absolutely.
vibration, that sound healing gives you a certain control when you're aware of it. You know what you're putting out, as you were speaking on earlier. You inspire the youth to make more positive, uplifting music. Because we want to change our conditions. If we think our conditions could be better, we have the words. The prophet said, I gave you everything to shout about.
That's right. Yep.
So you shouting, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to, I mean, we're having a little technical difficulty. We look like we only aired on YouTube. So I'm praying that we can get that resurrected. So we're going to just go into that Sister Barney mentioned divine love and this divine expressiveness. You want to touch on that, sister?
Yes. I wanted to talk about how chapter 1 in the Holy Land, the More High Temple speaks about on page 4, creation and fall of man. Divine instruction 3 at the bottom. The last 2 sentences. Says the human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was foreordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil of soul. It grew apace, and man became a living soul. And he became the Lord of all the kingdom of the soul. Hark now, let every creature hear. The plane of soul is but the ether of the spirit plane, vibrating not so fast. And in the slower rhythm of this plane, the essence of life are manifest. The perfumes and the odors, the true sensations and all of love manifest. When I read that helps me more to character build even in my writing. I definitely made sure that I was coming from a pure thought, an angelic thought, because everybody has the ability to express themselves through music, but all music isn't a divine expression. And I say that because, you know, we tend to get caught up in ourselves sometimes lyrical wise. And I wanted to make sure that I had a purpose in the music. It wasn't for myself. It was so that I can, you know, be that love manifested. And I can show people that you can control your thoughts, that you can manifest, you know, great and righteous things in your life through purifying yourself with things like a better choice of music, for starters. I had to change my environmental, first of all, by my music, my intake. It wasn't just necessarily that, as the brother stated, I put it in a category. Well, hey, I just made sure that foul language wasn't coming into my ears, that things that stood for destruction, that music that contains hate messages and things of that nature, I refused to listen to. And then I was able to pour out more. And it was in a sense to where it surprised me as well. I didn't even think that I could be used as a vessel in that manner. And so, you know, when you think about, when I think about truth, I also think about the holy breath. And that also, it equates to that language. That's a gift. Your language is given to you as a gift. So I dare not waste it on nothingness, you know. And that's just the way that I express myself, through clean music, through love vibrations. I keep the thought knowing that I'm controlling a certain type of spirit. So I want to make sure that it's love coming out, and nothing where it'll do more harm than's already been caused in the music, or through expressions of art in general. Peace.
Islam. Well, I'll step in there. Love is what we are. Love's Allah. And we was nothing but a representation of him coming into this creation. Every thought that he had represented him in some form, and it's to express him in that regard. And so when I noticed that it was speaking about love comes with different vibrations, and I thought about that human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah, you think about the heart, it's the essence, it's the core. And we know that in salvation, it reaches from the heart of man to the heart of Allah. So we talking about right there in the middle, right there in the core. And so I knew that everything gonna be pretty much who my character is, what my makeup is. And we look at chapter 1, like I say, all the music is right there. Everything speaks about divine expressions right there. Divine expressions is simple. Divine expressions is, to me, it's the godly or godlike state that depicts, shows, or reflects, symbolizes the supreme being. So when you see that, he tell you, I want to go to chapter 35 where the brother started off at, because I love that chapter as well. I love all the chapters. You got a favorite chapter all the time I'm reading. My favorite chapter right now, this one. But yes, I want to share from chapter 35 and religion. I want to go up to instruction 18 on page 43 and say, if we lift up our eyes to the heavens, his glory shining forth. If we cast them down on the earth, it is full of his goodness. The hills and the valleys rejoice and sing. So when you think about the word sing, we talk about make expressions and have a voice, and they do have their own sounds, and they do make expressions. And it ain't nothing like hearing water coming up against the shore, or hearing the wind blowing and you hear like a whistle, and that stuff sounds peaceful. I love that. And so it also says, rivers and woods resound his praise. But thee, he has distinguished with peculiar favor and exalted thy station above all creatures. He has endued thee with reason. See, reason's ability to think things out properly, right? So now you should know what you're thinking. His thought is the cause of it all. So once again, when we start talking about the music, it's the harmonies, the melodies of everything, the sounds that's being produced, and it's going to naturally bring about a sound that's supposed to be harmonious. And love is harmony. Love creates harmony. So when we come out into the manifestation as Allah, we learn how to stay in harmony, like Islam teaches, to be at peace with yourself, your fellow creatures, your fellow man. And so that's the harmonies of life right there. And that's where the sweet breath binds everything, the spirit of Allah. And so if we can keep that spirit connected, we're going to represent him in the things we do, from our words, our thoughts, and our deeds. And so our thoughts being stimulated by the thoughts of Allah, can't nothing come out but Allah, the holy breath. But the will of man makes that possible. So if you want to serve yourself and you want to promote some other thoughts, because remember, music entertainment as well. It's the state of taking something in. And so now I'm going to put this in you. If it's bad for you, now I'm misleading you. And Allah going to get me for that. You see, so I got to make sure that that's key. I'm going to be held accountable.
And you as well, yourself will be held accountable too, because you have to press play. And that's the whole key part about, making that transition. If you think your conditions can be better, then they absolutely can. But it definitely starts with self. As I stated, I didn't categorize it. I knew that I needed to hear something better that was going to motivate me to be a mother, daughter, sister before I became a wife. This is what led me up to the end results of the promises that our Father promised us. These things have to be fulfilled because he's not a liar. He's never been known to be that way. He's all true. So the more and more that you gain knowledge, you are obtaining this. I'm getting this information so I can share it to others, not just so I can build up and, my own soul. It's to improve society. And that's truly a blessing to have language, because with the reciprocal love that we're even able to get back from our brothers and sisters, it is amazing.
Yes.
Even hearing other, I love the conscious music platform. I love the fact that I can put on my sister or my brother and I'm just, humming divine love and, MVP and 5 principles, because it's ministering to me and it's letting me know that I'm, first of all, not alone in the walk, in the work, you know. That's very motivational within itself. And just the love and the binding factor even in that is the unity. It's
Right.
peaceful, it's harmonious, it's Allah. It's Allah because rarely do we do things out of our own will.
That's right.
Rarely do we, you know. Allah steps in, he gives you something, and then you move on. Because sometimes it's even at force. You know, we've done some things to where it was a force involved because Allah will work that way. And the expressiveness part it's also a gift because Allah allows you to be able to express yourself in forms of art. So, you know, not just music. Some people draw. Some people, you know, have other artistic expressions, and they're all beautiful because you can show the attributes of yourself.
Right.
That's right.
That's why it's lovely.
You know, with not on with the voice, what you just said, with voice is not just an expression of the voice, but it's also your thoughts, right? Because it's the breath, mind, and voice that goes together. The prophet speaks about truth, right? Speaks about truth, and then he asks, "What's another name for truth?" Holy breath. So when we deliver these words in truth, that means that we raised our thoughts. You understand? And it's coming from the soul. The soul is the remembrance. It brings back what you need. You keep it in moderation. You're teaching the spirit, you know, the spirit to keep the soul in moderation. So when those are linked together and we are aware of them, and I keep saying this because it's very important for expressing yourself. When you're aware of them, you bring the power of life. You're functioning.
Right.
So the prophet said you might function on this plane to manifest. So when you bring that to life, you learn to function. You speak well. You know how to respond. You know how to handle obstacles. You're not trying to harm anyone, but you do it in love. This all mixed with the breath, voice, and thought. It's all one. We have to learn to master these things so that we can communicate better. The prophet said, but is not knowing how to communicate, not understanding.
Yes, and it's very therapeutic too because it teaches you discipline. It really taught me how to sit back and listen to the still small voice. And even when I am planning an event or moving around, you know, I can still, you know, hear because I'm still in my mind. I'm asking Allah, what is it that I'm missing maybe that you're saying that? Well, let me just quiet my mind and just meditate on the wonders of your love and how, you know, all the wonderful things about our Father. The list goes on and on. And so the more and more that you focus in on that, because it's therapeutic because I know what I'm doing it for starters. I know who I'm doing it for, and I know the outcome that I'm seeking, and it's a positive. So we're constantly working on ourselves. You know, your strength is built by, you know, you're exercising coming up against that foe. That's how you build your strength, through resistance. So it's a lot of things that have been placed before us. Money, offers, things like that. If Allah didn't say accept it, then that won't be accepted in this household. Due to the fact that we understand that divine instruction. Show your love to his law. You know, and it might not always look easy because it may not look easy because I mean, it may not be easy because accepting, following instructions is not always just, you know, that type of easy flowing task. But once you continuously build yourself up with truth, because you have to use the hammer to pound in the truth in the workshop of the mind. And so, you know, that hammer is heavy and pounding it in constantly, it's even going to make some ruckus. So with that in mind, you know, like you said, it's going to be spots that you know better how to deal with people based upon, you know, doing music. You know how to express yourself better. You know how to communicate better. And communication is very key because I can't read mind stuff. And you know, I'm just only allowed to know what Allah allows me to know. But if my brother or sister can express that to me in a way, then we definitely can, you know, put a resolution on that. So that is another reason that I love music too, and art in general. But music is just our special field, and it's just wonderful to be able to be
That's right.
talking about divine expression is because it can be used in every aspect. It really helps you to stop and think. And you're just like, okay, and first of all, am I being divine? Is this God? Is this equating to God's law and how he set it up, the great God, the universe, And then you're like, okay, well, now am I expressing myself in a way that's divine and godly? Is this the best way to put forth myself? Because your music express your soul. Ultimately, what's your characteristics? You're going to write music about what's in there, what you're thinking about,
That's right.
what you're going through. You may have, went through some obstacles, but that's the beauty part about wanting to do it, because it can be done. Because at first, as my husband said, his music, those songs, I was like, you wrote this? But however, it was a divine purpose, because he was able to get that, purge that out of him. And then once we met, our souls connected, rather, we were able to say, okay, so I'm at that point too, where I don't want to hear it anymore. And he was done doing it. So it worked out perfect. And it is an inspiration to the youth. They do clean music. We work with youth, and they are actually excited to do music, to learn about Jesus. They love the aspect of that. And to be able to still have a beat behind it, it gives them a voice and a purpose.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Music. What I've learned, what we've been learning too as well, is that those who sing, people with beautiful melodic voices, that they didn't learn that in one lifetime.
No.
It takes thousands of years to perfect tones and melodies. That's you. Using your angelic voice that's been passed down from generations to generations. It's not people who can naturally sing didn't learn to sing like that in one lifetime. It took
Brother Berry, I always often express to my children that I was blessed that both my parents sing, both of them. And so I used to say, I had the experience of both worlds. They both was part of a group. My mother was in church singing, my father had a band, and then they sing together. And so I took on that energy, remember we're picking up where we left off at. And so music, expressing yourself through music is amazing. I play songs, I express myself to those I love through music. I find a song that can speak to it, and then I go with it. And even if I'm not in my higher self, we still have a song that we play. And my husband used to often say, nah, baby, don't play that. Because you're pulling in that energy. You remember he used to say that, don't play that. So, we have to be careful what we listen to.
Yeah.
It puts you in a certain vibration to behave a certain way in the world, or with your family or friends.
That's right.
So it's all in the choices that you make when it comes to this expression. So we're really appreciating you sharing, your understanding of divine expressiveness.
Right.
Because that is key here. Say what you gonna say, brother?
Yeah, I was going to add to that when we look at divine expression as well, we think about, like the brother said, that angelic, that pure state that serves us as we become the medium, or we convey something and put it out there. And also it represents our higher power and our higher self. That's where we become one with Allah and the higher self. So when you see your best, you at your best. There's no way around it. What's going to pour out of you? Like you said, as Jesus said, the words of a man's mouth is the words of his heart. See, so you got them foul words, you got some foul thoughts. You got to keep them thoughts governed, and you got to keep them clean. Purity paves the way. And remember, this is all about bringing out love, bringing out Allah. Allah is love. Learning to love is learning to be Allah. Learning to express yourself as love is learning to play in the roles of love. But love comes in different degrees. You got love the father, love the mother, love the daughter, love the son, love the child. So even in those roles, right? You come out and you represent that. So now you take on mother or husband. Okay, that's another role that you've been given this sign. But then when we talk about our gifts, that's something you have to develop. And like you say, it ain't something that you get overnight. We learned in chapter 1 that you are unfolding development. You're going to see that you can do a lot of, it's nothing that you can't do, really. It's nothing. But you want to make sure that what you do ultimately represents your higher self and your higher power. And that's your blessing to be able to be an expression of Allah, no matter where you go. Because when you start thinking angelic, you're talking about the seraphims now. You're talking about the ma'arifs now. Those are the ones that do the will of Allah. So when you're talking about doing the will of Allah, the will of man makes possible the action of the Holy Breath. So we want to put the truth on the manifest. We got to put it through our will. You got to bring love up off the ground and raise it to infinite wisdom through your will. You got to get Allah sent love to the ground. It's on us to bring it back up. So the vibration must come back up. You know, some people like that slow drawing out music. I like slow songs, and I love to hear them. I can write them and all that. And just think about it. We are all like, Allah has us playing different roles. We in an army for Allah, but we ain't got to go shoot no guns. We got a God of faith. But we are in a fight, a good fight of faith. We understand that. But we are in a band. We are his choir. Like I told my wife, she's going to be the head of his praise team. So I just soul music became a ministry platform that Allah told me, you can't say your own things. You can teach Prophet Ali's teachings. You can teach it, but you can't be trying to mix your stuff with it. You got to explain it. And so when he gave me a way of doing it, I just knew that I had learned how to rap and all that. I had never had wrote it down until I had the time to sit down. And so I started writing it in like maybe 2002. But I had been like freestyling since I was a child. So once I started writing it, he taught me how to be a composer. See, we all composers. We put things together, though. We all arrange. Sometimes you got to switch some things around. You know, just like Allah made the creation. He called some things together. He separated the waters. So he teach you how to be like him. He's a producer like you. You a reproducer. You're a creator like him. So he wants you to know that all your abilities, is what your gift is really. These are the treasures of him. He gave you something that makes you God-like. And when you fail to do that, like I can't care about who don't like what we got to say. You know what I'm saying? It takes courage for the truth. So I have to make it a form of entertainment and where I can dance and do the things with it to make it my best. And I'll leave it all out there. And we've been in front of crowds where they wanted to throw tomatoes at us with them vests and turbans on. You know, they like, oh, what they talking about? But I had to stand there with a straight face for our line and say, you're going to hear it today. And then they say, man, we like that, man. We like you know, like they wasn't going to like it. I don't know what they was thinking, but you can't say that. I sit here and just say anything. Like I encourage all the artists that's doing music is to never mix Allah's words and your words together because you create a terrible doom for yourself. So you want to make sure that when you speaking gospel, the good news, the ministry, is his words, it's his teaching, not yours. Can't be mixing some other stuff. You're going to put yourself in a bad situation. That's why I had to be honest with myself. Am I ready for this? You know, and I had to ask myself, are you really ready, man? Because it's like you've been told to do it all this time. Now, are you ready? So once I had to get out there, I was glad I had a team with me, my wife, my children, and we just went in the studio and started working.
That's right. You know, and like you said, everybody's not going to always like everything you do.
Yeah, and those people, those vibrations that were in opposition to your music.
Yes.
See, that's why, like I said, music comes from the Greek word muse, which means to inspire. But music also, remember, it calms the savage beast. And give 5 names to some of the descendants of Adam and Eve: Lucifer, Satan, dragon, devil, and beast. So music calms the savage beast, and that's that savage beast is the lowest self. So you know, that's the importance of music, divine expressiveness.
You know, when we're here to learn that truth is not an enemy. Hearing the truth is not our enemy.
Right.
You know, sometimes it takes a little time to process that truth, but it's not your enemy. It's to make us better. You know, but like the prophet said, if you think your conditions can be better, not all of us can think that it can be better. And so we have to continue to pray.
And when you talk about truth, you know, you can't deal with truth without courage.
Come on, Muslim.
You got to have courage enough for truth.
That's right.
You know, because you know, truth doesn't change or pass away.
It's agreed to accepting truth, then, huh? Because you got to be sincere as well.
Right. You have to be sincere.
Yeah.
You know,
that's first degree. That wow.
Sincerity.
Right. Because I think most of the time we kind of get that truth and then we expect it to go a certain way. So I'm learning to stop putting expectation on our lives. Just, you know, make sure I'm doing the right thing, but I'm just, you know, because he's the best of planners anyway. And so, you know, just because I know I'm going to be tested, you know, again and again and again, it's going to constantly be a foe. So, you know, I'm trying to navigate with the truth a little better instead of just expecting that outcome, you know, because you're going to have to use that truth in a different manner in the next situation and then, you know, so forth. So, yeah.
That's drawing that circle around our passions and desires.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's right.
I gotta testify and tell the truth because Conscious Soul Music was inspired. Allah told me that King David is one of the greatest households, the house of love. And they was responsible for keeping the house of music in there. They had the singers and the writers, and they had a part of ministry, but that was it. And that was back during Moses and them time, the Levites, they did it. And the house of Judah, the house that prays. So the praise was always in our households. I said, you know what? We gotta rebirth this house with good music. We gotta rebirth the house with good music. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is like you hear the music, it's lewdness, hatred, murder, theft, everything that harms. You see who's on the mic, who's been speaking out, who's infected, who's put affecting the world right now. And so when he told me, he said, listen, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it for me. You can't do it for you. And that's just like you make the choice, you're gonna have to be honest and say, well, it's time to be sincere and make the sacrifice. Love is a willing sacrifice. So you say, well, I'm willing to go in here, take the little I got, give it all to you, because I know that you're gonna always get it. So you reap with Allah, he makes sure. And with Allah, it's not about your income, it's about your outcome. You gotta govern what's coming out of you. And then that's gonna always determine what comes back. What you put out into the ether is gonna generate, it's like a universal law. And so you see that's with everything you do, even with like some people got bad behavior manners, right? And so people can see you sitting there like, man, this guy every time his mannerism ain't right. And that's what those people are. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be around you. You eat and smacking little things that don't look, intact, but proper. People like, yeah. But when you come across the right energy, the right aura, the right vibration, the right one. See, because no matter what they say, when love comes in the room, when the truth is in the room, it's gonna stand out. It is the light. It's going to bring about harmonious conditions. You're going to feel the low vibrations. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is that you're going to try to gravitate towards the good ones, and you'll try to inspire them ones that's low to get it up. Now, those who can't get up off the ground, they stuck. They ain't let it actuate their flesh. Let the spirit actuate. See, so it'll get you out that sleepless slumber. And every time you get in the car, you're trying to go somewhere, you put the music on. You don't even got to listen to the music. Just hear the music, and it's just time you there. It's music plays a real big part of everything we do. And we've been listening to music since. We had seashells and we didn't even have the stuff we had. We didn't have these keyboards. We had seashells and things we made drums out of.
Wow, praise the Lord.
They say in harmony and evil is the same.
Right.
That's why it's imperative that we stay harmonious. Those low vibrations that you spoke about. I was just explaining to I was having a conversation with my wife the other night, and I was telling her, when husband and wife, the wife is the pearl. She's the pearl, meaning she's of great worth. That's what a pearl is. And the husband is like the harbor. He's the protector. He's safe haven. So that, when you see that union, you see Pearl Harbor. And if you know the story about Pearl Harbor, you don't attack Pearl Harbor. You know what happened when Pearl Harbor got attacked.
Right.
That's right. You get Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
So you don't attack
the world on. You can drop the whole world on.
That's right. You don't attack. Harmonious.
I hate the signs more.
I when Brother Berry shared that story, I felt, of course, I blushed because I'm like, wow, that's artistry.
Yes.
That's art to compare or make the correlations in man and wife with something of that great, experience. Understanding that the woman, the prophet told us have a deep appreciation for womanhood. And so when he speak that, my sons hear him, my daughters hear the love and the protection, that circle, because we are supposed to protect each other mentally and physically, emotionally, spiritually. That's what the bond is about. You understand? We protect each other, and that gave me a sense of protection. Sometimes you have to be told, in words, like, so you can feel secure.
I just wanted to share that because I know you all are a family, and unfortunately, you have energy out here that attack unions.
Yes.
They attack the union. So that's why Allah laid that on my heart the other night about the pearl and the harbor.
Wow.
And when you disrupt that level of union and harmonious conditions, a great justice awaits you.
Islam.
You know, don't attack the union, whether it's the union between two brothers, as far as a brotherly love. You know,
Right.
like myself and brother Varnell. Don't attack when you see relationships being built. Don't
Right.
put wedges. Don't create wedges.
Right.
That's
Right.
justice gonna catch you, because
Right.
you're going against the laws of Allah. Because you know the universe is built in harmony.
Islam.
So every living
That's
thing is
right.
bound by
Of
cords to every other living thing.
That's right.
So when you try to tear that apart, when you try to attack things that are harmonious,
Right.
You know, that's why I said that's the atom bomb.
That's the
Right.
Allah dropped the atom bomb on you.
Right.
I could talk about
Right.
this sweet breath of Allah. Is one, that oneness you just described. You know, that's that when the birds sing out to men and men vibrate in unison. That oneness is vast. So praise Allah for that demonstration. You was going to say something, Brother Varnell?
Yeah, and like I said, they used to call me the Birdman, and I know people used to go by that name, and that was like a bad title to have, you know. But when they started calling me the Birdman, because I was out there in the yard, I used to be out there feeding the birds, and I had them come sit and hang out with me, you know, and they come to me to sing for me. And the brother Adam Bay, man, it's funny because, you know, me and him, we tend to talk a lot. We tilt the bill and get them signs early in the morning when we can. And, you know, in the evening, he noticed that every time I'm out there, my birds be like, really? They be singing, they do it all. He hear it all. He's like, man, them birds really vibrating with you right now, boy. And so, but I be hearing them vibrating in his background as well. But nonetheless, I was dealing with some things, okay? And I had got on the phone, and I sound so drained. To him, he heard it. He said, Mo, you don't sound like the Varnell I know. And I was thinking, I said, you know what? It is draining when you doing so much. And Allah know it's a stressful job when he puts you out there. And you got to go put yourself and be willing to die for what you stand for. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to go that far and say, okay, this is the moment. I can't stop it. Allah say, do the work. Go out doing the work. That's the best way to go. So I'm like, but yeah, I said, yeah, you're right. I said, I know how the prophet felt. You know, he was dealing with some things too. And the brother said, well, if you're going to throw the towel in more or you're going to go back in, but I'm your cut man right now. I'm trying to get you back out there. And I said, oh, I'm going back out, man.
That's right.
Man. And as he was talking, and he can testify this, the bird started back singing again. See, because he got me up out of it. He brought me out that space I was in because I was having some thoughts that was surrounded by some things that was some unnecessary concerns, cares of the world, really. You know what I mean? You know what that's falsehood. You know who my protector is. You know who the guy is. So all the things that you make yourself focus on the wrong thing. Now you no longer expressing Allah, you expressing yourself. And that's what he picked up on, my self-expressions of my Lord's vibration. So now you're like, where you at? Where your thoughts at? You know?
But you know, brother Bond, but you know that's what the brother bond is all about.
Islam.
Islam. Wow, we just
we need our brother.
It's important.
We need each other.
It's important to understand the importance of fellowshipping. You know, we just came from the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. You know, it's necessary. It helps us grow. You know, like the brother just said, you said he felt your vibration, he pulled you back up. You know, it's important.
That's what we need. That's what we're here for, though. We're here for each other.
Yeah, I like to give honor to
Apple Bay for the Authority Day demonstration.
Yeah, I give
powerful demonstration.
I
got a chance to tune in with some of it.
And we also, we have a video that was done. It was put on our page by Brother T. Hopkins Bay about Authority Day. So check that video out.
Yeah, honest to all the Moors. Our temple 34, all the Moors across the White Cyrus Sale, Grand Street. Ferguson Hill, Peter Seal, Miles Bay, and the whole crew.
Yeah. Sing all out there, China.
Yeah,
I see the Moors looking good. The prophet was smiling. The Moors smiling, the prophet smiling with us. Trust me on that.
Right. Sister Jordan Hill,
Sister T. T. Berry Bay, my daughter, Brother Tyel. Let me say his name because he's gonna be like, you didn't say I was there. All the children,
all the Moors came out. Just from around different Moors from around the different temples came out. It was beautiful.
We got a chance to celebrate. We celebrated early on the 16th. We had a nice turnout. All the temples came out. And support, you know, we got a chance to see our brothers. You know, sometimes we don't see each other. We right here in the same city. So, you know, sometimes it be things like that can bring us all together. And we look forward to being on the road soon and come and see some more Moors. But we might be coming to a town there, to a city there. You don't tell them we might be coming your way.
That's
That's
right.
right. That's
We
right.
waited.
That's right.
We
Just
coming.
let me know when you coming.
Jonathan,
Yeah, I come.
Only Bay.
Jonathan, only babe. We still calling out names, you know,
Yeah.
giving those shout outs.
We all traveled down
Thank
together,
God.
as one big unit.
We
Yeah.
literally was running in the door to jump online. You know, Sister
Thank
Montgomery
you.
Bay was going back and forth with me.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, Brother T. Hopkins Bay behind the scene. You know,
Mhm.
we have an amazing media team. And
Mhm.
we wanted to be, you know, celebrate Authority Day in Philadelphia. So we knew we had the show, you know. However, also Sister Tahira Hopkins Bay asked about you, Sister B. Vaughn
We
Neal.
love Hopkins Bay. We love that family. It's a beautiful family. Just and the temple is beautiful down there. You know, we got a chance to go down there and meet them and mother love and everybody. We got love for that family and the work they've been doing. You know, and we just let that encourages us to keep working, to stay grounded.
That's right. And that is what divine expressiveness is. We express ourselves on Authority Day with each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about the music, because music is in the heart.
Mhm.
You know, you express yourself with your words. I learned from one of my mentors that your mouth is your math. What you say out of your mouth, it counts. You know, if it's not going to uplift and motivate and inspire, don't say it.
Your mouth is your what?
Your mouth is your
Your
math. Your mouth is your math. And because she's been kind of mentoring me,
What
you
you
know,
say count. That's right.
she, you know, because I needed, you know, some mentoring from her for the work that I'm, you know, that we do. And she said, Sister Berry Bay, she said, your mouth is your math.
That's right.
The words that you speak, you know, and the prophet teaches about our thoughts. You know, so it's, you know, one truth.
Yeah.
And so I'm working on being careful with my words.
You got careful about that the subconscious magnet.
Yeah.
That I remember back in the days when they had the whole East Coast West Coast battle going on, and I remember KRS-One telling Biggie and Pac, he made a song called The MC, and he said, watch what you say because you'll attract it. Control your subconscious magnet from pulling in havoc. You know, and not too long after that, we lost both of them.
That's right.
Right.
You know, because as musicians, you do practice verbal magic.
Right. And
you know, with your words.
Yeah. Your words you can create.
You manifest what you speak. The words, the things that you speak, you manifest that.
Right.
It's a manifestation that happens immediately.
Especially right.
That's right.
Right.
And that's why your words is key, because like even with the thought, even when you're trying to do something, you really have to put it into a word yourself to manifest. You know, it has to come out, you know, out of you. And you're going to translate that from the idea to the word. Now it become instruction for you, something to follow. And so now that's what's going to come into the manifestation. It's going to be the words you speak and the thoughts you carry. You carry certain thoughts. You'll be thinking about something before you know it. You start talking to yourself. Why? Because you're thinking about it. You talking out loud and no time. You didn't even know it. But that's how powerful thoughts are. It's going to make you put it out there. If you disturb, you will speak that. It'll be on your mind. You'll speak it out.
You'll speak it out. That's
what's that about? You know, you get to dealing with it. But the thoughts are very powerful. But ultimately, I just want to say about that expression that we got to know that we are all expressions of love. That's what we should be expressing everywhere we go. He said, let your love to each other. You know, we got to show the love that we got for each other. We got to show the love that we have for our God, the love that we have for ourselves. And ultimately, that's what's going to make the expression.
That's right.
You know, thank you for sharing that, because Sister Vaughn, she keep mentioning divine love. I actually was inspired by that word, divine love, from our Quran. And you all gave me the music to go with it. So hopefully by October, we should be, you know, it should be coming out. But divine love is something that's not a physical, you know, thing. It truly isn't. We need to learn how to love instead of hate is what we are learning.
We was talking about that last night. Divine love is being able to give honors to somebody even if you don't like them.
Right.
Right.
You know, I watch people struggle to give honors because they don't like you. You know, and this energy comes from people who you would think know better.
Right.
But it just goes to show you when you're not practicing, that's what you'll demonstrate. I can give honors to anybody, whether I agree with you or disagree with you, because I know that to give. When man give honors to man, he give honors to Allah. See, we say that, but do we really believe that?
Right.
Because more is getting their feelings, it won't even Islam you.
Islam.
I'm trying to tell you.
And they the same ones that say when Allah speaks to man through man.
Right.
You looking at the face of man, you looking at Allah. What happened to the lesson, Mo?
Even when it's something you don't want to hear, it's still Allah.
Right.
Absolutely, because I used to struggle with that, and I still, of course, it's still not pleasant, but I don't find myself struggling with it like I used to anymore because I really open up my heart when somebody's saying something, even if I'm like, you know what, that not right now. I'll still take it into consideration. Right. You know what, that was truth, sister, and I start to just accept that because it's important and it's called constructive criticism.
That's right.
And, it helps build you. You got to pound in that truth.
That's right.
It gets uncomfortable, but you just got to adjust and know it's for the better.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So look, we are coming down to the last couple of minutes. We started like 7:15, so we gonna ask you to give your closing words and share how your music can be purchased or listened to. Please share.
Well, I'll say again, like divine love in closing, as my wife said, as we just expressed, I love the conversation we had because it makes a connection on the inside. It touches the core, it touches the heart, And so I think about the Jesus lessons where he went in, the girl came out and sung, and she really touched him. You know what I mean? It really moved him. He was inspired so much. Like he wanted that to be his wife, but he was so focused with the love that he had in his heart for Allah that he said, well, I trust, we'll get back to that. I got work to do. And love is what makes you do the right thing. No matter if you want to do it or not, it's not about you. Divine love is the connection to all life, and that's the sweet breath of Allah. And it's been a pleasure being here with y'all. And I'm glad we got a chance to talk about some of the things, and hopefully we got all the right information out to the nation. And if I say anything deserving of honest, once again, all praise is due to Allah.
That's right.
Praise Allah. Islam, Sister B.
Islam. Thanks again for allowing us to be in your presence, family. And, it's always a pleasure. Our music can be purchased at conscioussoulmusic.com. Right now, we have a young man. His name is Jay Disciples. He's a conscious soul music artist, and his album is called Life Cycles. It has 13 songs on it, and he's talking about his experience during the quarantine and a few other clean songs that he has available on there. And again, I just wanted to thank all of our listeners, well-wishers, supporters. We love you all. And even in spite of how we look, just know that you can be divine love expressively.
That's right. That's
right. Yes, I just want to say I give high honors to my brother and my sister. The Von Ill family. Honors to your family. Give your Islam to the family. And I also want to say, let's. We talking about divine love and divine expressiveness. But in this time, we have to send out a divine thought to our leadership.
Yes.
We have to send out a divine thought to our leadership. Keep the leadership, on your mind and on your heart. Because they need that.
That's right.
in these times. In these times what we're dealing with the end of times and the fulfilling of the prophecies, and we're living in a time of change.
Yes.
And when you see change, people struggle.
Yes.
We're living in a time of transformation.
That's right. That's right.
So you have to, we have to send out a divine thought to our leadership and also to divine ills, anybody that's leading anything in any form, because we in this, look around the world. It's a time of transformation, and some people just can't handle change.
A great change,
right? The positive, uplifting change. So just keep the leadership, on your heart. Send out a divine thought. As my brother Martin Stansel always say, "Baby, you gotta send out a divine thought."
That's right.
Send out a divine.
I keep the ladies in our thoughts, man. I love the brother, man. I love the work he do. I think he's a good example for the nation. a husband, you know, a spiritual guy who he teaches the prophets, teaches to the T. It's like he don't get out of that. He goes with what the prophet says. And I've been hearing him, you know, for years, and I honor the brother, you know, and I do keep a good thought because I know from the top he got to be dealing with some things because you know, you get those things on the ground. So
Islam.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Thank you all for for your words and that divine expressiveness that you have displayed here today. I hope that it touched someone's heart, someone's ears, someone's thoughts, help them raise their thoughts to infinite wisdom, inspire them to transformation, because transformation is key. And we can't stay the same. Nothing stays the same. You know, we're constantly growing and unfolding.
That's right.
And as we unfold, our God unfold. And so I like to, also camel walk with you, giving high honors to our leadership. You know, may Allah always be with you and, guiding a nation, a nation of people who are mixed up and going many different ways. But praise Allah and hope that we can succumb those challenges at this time. I want to please tune in this Friday for our Holy Day meeting at 7:30 on our national Facebook page. Also on Sunday at 2 p.m. We're tuning in at Temple 71 on our national Facebook page with the National Grand Sheikh, Brother R. Jones Bey, and his temple members. We also have a show coming up, Universal Love, on Wednesday at 7 p.m. And also Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk at 7 p.m. Thursday. So that's next week, Wednesday and Thursday. Please tune in, support those thoughts, those divine expressiveness. Each one teach one. When we support each other people respect us. We have to learn to support each other first. Be the message that you bring.
And I also want to put my brother Von on the spot. Put my brother T. Adams Bey on the spot. We also have a little come together we call a Brothers Bond, created by Brother Adams Bey. So anybody want to, come on to a Brothers Bond, reach out to Brother T. Adams Bey. That's what we do a lot of building, character building.
That's right.
We do a lot of studying, we do a lot of sharing. Adams Bey never promoted, but that's just him being humble.
Yes.
But we do look forward to expanding that platform because it's a nice platform for open dialogue and brothers coming together, trying to build the young brothers up too. We got young men that's been participating, so we definitely look forward to working with them.
Praise Allah. So we were not able to tune into Facebook. So if you all can share to Facebook this video so it can be seen. We really enjoyed you. Praise Allah.
Yes.
It's been an honor.
Able to you were gracing us with your presence.
And we want to do it
your
again.
Gift. And we will do it again because we feel like we wasn't able to, come off on things. But you know what? Allah is the best of planners. And you also you shared your awesome story, and I want you to be able to share it again. So you will be back. We will have you back on. We thank you very much. We have said enough, and we will meet you at the Rise of Sun on a Wellness Wednesday in 2 weeks.
That's right. Peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Peace.
Peace.